what kind of things can this help people process? Because you mentioned that inner critic. I've done entire shows about our negative self-talk, because for men, that's a really, really harsh issue. Most men struggle with that. But I saw like you deal with anxiety and stress. What can this do? What kind of things can this help people work through?
Yeah, great question. Let's start with the negative self-talk piece. If you're watching this via video, I've got a really cool representation of the light wolf, dark wolf behind me. And that's an old Native American tale where, there's a battle between the light wolf and the dark wolf that's been waged inside every single one of us since the very beginning of time. And the dark wolf manifests itself as evil and fear and envy and jealousy and hatred and sadness and etc. And the light wolf manifests itself as love and joy and peace and kindness and altruism and happiness and et cetera, et cetera. And somebody asks, well, which one wins? And the answer is the one you feed, the one you feed. And ultimately, many people are feeding their dark wolf with the negative inner critic, the negative self talk. And one of the very first things I do with a lot of folks, coaching wise, is we name the dark wolf and we get verbatim on paper on the worst days, what does he say? So, first of all, that's really important for people because they're disassociating that negative voice from them, the self with the capital S or the soul with the capital S. It's something different. It's typically something learned from the outside. And most oftentimes it's not accurate, even though it's very mean. Right. And then once we can see that, and once we can downshift a bit into that state as it relates to that thing on the screen that, was repeating in your head over and over and over again and causing a negative feedback loop or causing a shame spiral. Right. Once we create that space and that distance, then we're able to name your light wolf and translate it, not English to French or French to Italian, but change the words for to words that can help uplift and inspire and again architect the reality we want for ourselves. And so self-talk's huge, imposter syndrome's huge, identity work is huge, how you define yourself, right? Um, the crux of this work is in working through past experiences, right? So um, I like to say stuck, hurt, haunted. We'll add traumatic in there as well. Stuck is more kind of present day, but it's decisions. Should I stay or should I go? Transitions from a work or relationship, or just like general feelings of ugh, or apathy, or like the wheels aren't turning, man. Like you were just in the sand, stuff's not working. I don't know what to do. That's stuck, right? Hurt. We've all experienced hurt in our past, all of us, right? Something somebody said, something somebody did or did not do. This could have been last week, could have been when you were 7 years old. It was a breakup. This is loss. This is grief. This is disappointment, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Everyone has experienced hurt. Some people have even experienced haunted. We're talking Hollywood. This is the stuff that the horror movies are made out of, right? Assaults, murders. You know, my first story ever was a kidnapping story. My third or fourth story I ever worked was the guy was a 50 cal gunner in Iraq, right? Like a lot of heavy stuff that people have been through in their past. And traumatic experiences are defined as experiences that actually cause physiological changes in the brain. So it makes the brain more susceptible to going into that fight, flight, or freeze to protect from that experience again. And again, most of us have experienced traumatic experiences in our life too. And so, what all of that does is it creates dis-ease, not necessarily disease, but it creates dis-ease in our bodies when we think about that thing, or if we're triggered by something in and around that thing, or if we hear a song that, so and so used to love, and now so and so broke our heart or passed away. And now it's just like, ugh, it hits us super, super hard. And so, story work can help get those emotions up and out and get that negative energy. I'm trying to keep it as unwoo as I can, but
I
get
appreciate that.
yeah, you're welcome. Get the stuck suck out so that, when you think about that thing right before you go to bed, you can actually process it and your brain and body actually again heal from those experiences. And so it allows people to work through the stuff that they would have rather not gone through. And we obviously can't go back in time and change things, but we sure as heck can change our perception to the things that we've experienced. And once we take something out of our head and put it onto the paper, we are able to create distance and space from that story. So now we're not in the story, experiencing it over and over and over again. Now we're observing the story in the movie theater, eating popcorn and drinking soda pop and watching it happen. And that's an entirely different experience.